Hi there. Welcome to ERPA AI's Voice of the Customer series. I'm Dan Goodstein. I head up the Institute for RPA and AI. And today I'm joined by Shahriar Mamun. He's the Intelligent Automation Strategy and Delivery Lead for Johnson and Johnson. Shahriar, thanks for joining us.
Good to see you, Dan. Thank you for inviting me to this session.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for your willingness to do it and share a little bit about your journey. Before you jump in, give us a little bit of your background and how you got to where you are today.
Fantastic. Thank you. I've been with Johnson and Johnson for 24 years. All of these years, I've been part of the J&J technology organization, delivering business solutions. So, little long in the tooth in the IT area. My first 10 years, I spent supporting pharma R&D and commercial areas, all the way from drug discovery, preclinical, clinical, chem farm, regulatory affairs, providing business solutions to my business partners. So after that, for the last 14 years, I've been rotating around J&J quite a bit, supporting the consumer business and the J&J corporate functions, such as global finance, procurement, HR, legal, healthcare compliance, and such. My current role, I am one of the founding members of the Intelligent Automation practice within Johnson & Johnson. I'm part of a larger organization that is called Intelligent Automation and Advanced Technologies. We do both intelligent automation, but also we go and do technology research and bring in new capabilities within J&J. Within that IA organization, the IA and Advanced Technologies organization, my organization is responsible for a few end-to-end services. They're analogous to a Center of Excellence. So I lead the global enterprise services for robotic process automation, which includes unattended as well as attended desktop automation, integrated document processing, document digitization, ICR, OCR, image recognition, process and task mining, human-in-the-loop capabilities, and also citizen development program across J&J globally that includes upskilling our technology-savvy J&J associates to build automations themselves. They could be IT professionals, finance professionals, procurement professionals, anybody who's IT savvy, to help them develop automations using some of the capabilities that I offer. Other part of the organizations, which I'm not directly involved with, I am directly involved with, but that is not within my purview, are capabilities like virtual agent, chatbot, generative AI, MLOps and AIOps, data science, etc. So that's kind of my background, Dan.
Yeah, amazing.
It's been around
So
for a while.
clearly you don't sleep, Shahriar. And I knew you ran that kind of COE there, but I didn't realize you were one of the founding members. So set it up. How did you get there? How did the organization get there, and what was involved in being a founding member of that program?
I will give you kind of how it evolved. So as you know, that J&J has approximately 250 plus companies under the J&J corporate umbrella. I think it's close to about 280, but I'll leave it to about 250 plus companies. Between 2015 and 17, J&J went through business transformation where the global functions such as finance, procurement, HR, etc., were consolidated from each of the operating companies under the corporate umbrella. And there were these huge global services organizations were formed to service all of J&J for all these functions, finance, procurement, HR, and so forth on. Now, as these global services organizations formed, the systems and the applications came under them as well, the financial system, the procurement system, the HR systems. And just for illustration purpose, just think about, imagine 175 payroll systems under Global Service Center, where the reps are doing civil chairing, going from one system to another, entering data, retrieving data, executing transactional processes. So that started the journey for IEA and RPA around end of 2017 and early 2018, with use cases in global services, finance, procurement, and HR areas. And after that, IA just exploded. The value of digital worker, along with side by side, working along with J&J's associates, became the front and center of our digital journey within J&J. For the next few years after that, J&J formed the Intelligent Automation Council. It was sponsored by two J&J executive board members, and it was co-chaired by my vice president. The council members included also organizational leaders from line of business, finance, procurement, HR, supply chain, med devices, etc. And they sat together to define the IA strategy globally. And that's where it all started. And for the last few years, we are in the 5th year of our journey. It has just gelled and exploded quite a bit.
It's amazing. And, you mentioned, I think all, if not most of the technologies we think about when we talk about intelligent automation. I'm curious, are some more mature than others, or what has you kind of maybe most excited about from a standpoint of ROI or even just the future capabilities?
Absolutely. So, our BPM, RPA, document digitization, those are extremely mature. We have been taking the journey for a while. The citizen development program is just, getting started. We have about close to 30-some citizen developers who have been trained, certified, and they're starting to build automation as well. From a technology perspective, those are some of the most mature, including chatbot and virtual agent area as well. Where we are heading towards is the generative AI, ML, and the data science area, which is our next level of maturity that we have taken this step towards for the last year or so. So that's where we're heading towards right now. Currently, from RPA perspective, we have about 175 automations that are live. But on the other areas, we also have some significant numbers in the document digitization side and, virtual agent and chatbot that are already live.
It's amazing. You said something before about the board members, a couple of board members sponsoring the program. I mean, that's something we see as a big issue with a lot of the programs that don't get the buy-in that they need or the support that they need and never get to the level of scale that an organization, really wanted to get in. And the other part is you guys have a different take on kind of calculating value from this thing, right? It's not about headcount reduction. It's more about value realized. Yes,
that is correct. So our value calculation, what we have is a very standardized methodology, all the way from identifying use cases to creating a business case, where we upfront understand that what value the automation will provide, and this is around what we call the 3E value realization framework that includes experience, effectiveness, and all, of course, efficiency, the savings in hours of work that we're saving the individuals. However, our objective is not to reduce headcount, but to free up our associates' time so that they could invest time in value-added work. So in the last, I can give you some numbers. They're already in the out in the market, that by end of 2022, we realized a value of 500 million. And our I Council executive sponsors have challenged us to achieve more than $1 billion 3 value realization by 2025. And this is not only through optimization of our hours that we are saved, but also top line growth for our business lines that are customer facing. And we have a couple of examples where we have done it that has worked out quite a bit. So we are going from the bottom up individual use cases where we see the manual work turned into automated work and saving those hours for our J&J associates, to how do we use intelligent automation to grow our sales and provide a better experience to our customers and stakeholders.
You hit on my favorite subject, Shahriar. There's this, and I was been talking about in the last couple of interviews that I've done, this contact center event that I was at recently, a really CX event I was at recently, and I'm really keen on use cases where we're not just looking at customer interactions as a cost center, but we're, finding opportunities to increase customer loyalty, increase cross-sell, upsell, to increase, or create additional revenue streams. It's amazing that you guys are doing that and seeing that. And are any particular channels kind of winning over others?
It's everywhere. We have started to deploy a lot of automations in pharma R&D and clinical trials. We were engaged in getting vaccines out of the door in a very expedited manner, and intelligent automation was, all over that program, all the way from submissions and results and adverse events tracking and everything from all different perspectives. In medtech area, we are using intelligent automation for, if you go to EMEA, if you look at the concept of single payer, or it's government-driven healthcare, and usually the government will furnish tenders for buying our products, whether it's pharmaceutical products or medical devices products. So we have intelligent automation that actually takes those tenders as they come and actually automate some of the process behind it, so that we can, in a very expedited manner, reply to those tenders that are coming to us from some of the government organizations in EMEA. So those are two of the examples of where we have implemented intelligent automation in pharma R&D and in medical device supply chain. Obviously, all our interactions with our customers, inventory, sales, all of those are that are tied to our point of sales and ERPs. We have implemented a lot of intelligent automation solutions there as well.
Sure. How important is the RPA component at this point? I mean, I know you were early to it. It's been a bunch of years now. So many of the people I speak to, as I kind of alluded to before, just they're not seeing the scale and the ROI of their RPA program. Is that still a big part of it for you guys?
It is, because we are always challenged to optimize cost. However, RPA is one of the mature programs in the sense that we have taken the journey. We have matured our methodology quite a bit. Everybody who is part of my organization, RPA or document digitization, every single person is trained, upskilled. We have built automations ourselves as well, so that when we get engaged with the business partners, we talk about how to solve the business problem and not talk about the technology and the limitation of the technologies we already know. Now, what has happened is that RPA has this limitation. A lot of our use cases have become a lot more complex. So it's not only RPA, it's an RPA plus combination of, let's say, document digitization, where we are getting invoices, scanning them in, extracting the data from it, and then handing over to an RPA bot to execute a transaction in another financial system or a ERP system for orders or POs or closing a invoice and so forth on. So a lot of our automations that we're building, it's not only RPA anymore, but a combination of multiple capabilities that we have within the intelligent automation suite of products that we offer.
Amazing. And I wanted to, you alluded to a couple of different things around citizen development and getting people up to speed and things like that. One of the other challenges that we see a lot is just the resourcing issue, especially now in the last year or two. How are you guys dealing with the talent management and the recruitment and the training? I assume that's a pretty big part of the effort. Yeah.
It is. So I will touch base a little bit on the citizen development and our philosophy on that. We want automation to be part of the J&J fabric, the digitization journey to be part of J&J fabric. So we want every single technology savvy individuals to pick up the capabilities that are part of the intelligent automation suite of products. The new generation professionals that are coming into our organizations, whether it's a financial analyst or procurement analyst or HR recruiter, or even IT professionals, all of them are by default extremely technology savvy. It's a next generation of professionals that we are seeing that if we don't help them, they will go and get their, capabilities from the market, even without the help of IT. So we have the citizen development programs where we have training programs where we not only provide market certification for the individuals who are eager to become a citizen development. We also take a use case, J&J use case, guide them through J&J internal practices, our SDLC practices, our design, standards and coding standards, our security policies, compliance policies. We train them. We want them to be aware of, if you're a citizen developer, if you're building an automation, what are your guidelines and boundaries? So we train them, we certify them, and we work with them on an ongoing basis. So we are upskilling J&J talents on an ongoing basis from become a citizen developer and accelerate the adoption of AI capabilities. Now, the second part of talent retention, I'll tell you that in my organization, every single member in my organization, including myself, we are trained, certified in every technology and capability that we offer to our business partners. We have hands-on experience building in automations, building the infrastructure. We understand every aspect of our standards and policies. So we fearlessly upskill each members, and we make them a fearless leader so that when they work with the business partners, they can provide that value. Now, the other side of it, which is good, is that we have become a talent export organization.
Right.
J&J is such a big organization that we do lose a lot of talents, and by choice, we promote them out. When they get a good opportunity outside my organization, which is a promotion opportunity, we will promote them out. And there are an organization within J&J who will pick up our talents quite, I would say quickly when they show interest. My philosophy is that I need to grow talents, and I want to make sure that they have a career path that they can go anywhere they want, right? And as we bring in junior talents, we continue to groom them. And a lot of my talents are not leaving J&J, so it is good for the company. They're taking the message to other part of the companies. We have 150,000 plus employees all over J&J, so it is a good thing for us. Now, if you look at my COE, we have internal talents as well as external partners who provide me those skills. So I have a build shop and a support shop with the partnership in India with external vendor partner, where I draw my capacity when the demand is high and release those capacity when the demand is low. So from that perspective, as those resources get trained and get experience in J&J, their attrition rate has become very high because IA is a hot space in the market. So I'm also talking to our external vendor partners and discussing their talent retention policy, because they're also losing a lot of talents as they get J&J experience, become upskilled in my practice knowledge. Right. So it is a challenge to manage talent, but you have to be competitive, right?
Well, you finally acknowledged a challenge. I was going to say, it sounds like you guys have everything figured out, Shahriar. You've been doing this a long time. This is really helpful. But I wanted to ask you, maybe beyond the talent piece, what are some of the other challenges that you guys are having that you see out there in the marketplace right now?
On the talent side, obviously, there's a high demand for IA talents, right? You have to look and interview quite a bit to make sure that you have the right talent, not from a technology background perspective, but also from a cultural fit perspective.
Sure.
Right? I want to make sure that I find individuals who are ready to push beyond their boundaries. I can always get somebody who's experienced in a capability and bring him as an expert, but if they're not eager to push the envelope and look at other new things, then we become obsolete. And I have a philosophy that says that every day I'm becoming obsolete. The transformation in the technologies in the industry, where it was 5 years in the past 10, 15 years ago, now it's every 12 months to 18 months, I'm seeing new technologies coming in, and our struggle is to keep ourselves up to date, right? So I need talents who are eager to take the journey, upskill themselves, push outside the boundaries, to make sure that whatever we have learned today, that is not what they'll be doing tomorrow, but they'll have the talent to pick up new capabilities, new technologies, new skills in future, and they should be open to it. So that is kind of what I'm looking for, the talents as they join my organization.
And how about beyond talent? Any other challenges that you guys see from either a tech standpoint or just a marketplace standpoint?
There is a lot of challenges. So, again, if you look at a lot of our use cases, they're becoming very complex. And when you look at the process, it's for a large company, we have global processes and local processes, and the variation is quite a bit. So as you implement intelligent automation capabilities, if they're RPA, they're business rules driven, and the variations are not accommodated as eagerly as if you have an ML and IA capabilities, right? So that standardization of process variation is a key discussion that we have with our business partners, saying that, hey, if it's not, it doesn't have to be 100% standardized, but if you're not at 80%, then if you're at 50%, it doesn't make sense to automate that process, because half of your process is going to exception out, right? Other than that, we're shifting the focus also, is that when you look at some of the early practices of intelligent automation, especially around RPA, that was a bottom-up approach. You see manual work, and you go to a service center, you understand that where the manual work is taking shape, and you take the bottom-up approach to automate that process. We have flipped that quite a bit, and we are looking at organizational processes end-to-end, so that we can commit ourselves to digitize first approach and commitment, with the understanding that let's digitize as much as we can, and whatever we can't, let's put some manual controls around those. And we are introducing process and task mining capabilities to look at those processes end to end and identify those variation, working with CPI and PE organization, process excellence organization, whether to optimize, standardize those processes, or understand that there's variation, it might not be good use cases. So there's the process challenge that we'll always have. The second part of it is that since our automations are becoming a lot more and more complex, meaning that the automations that include more than one capabilities, document digitization, RPA, chatbot, and so forth on BPM, the point of failures are multiple areas. Now we need orchestration capabilities that sits on top of it and orchestrate multiple capabilities so that handover happens seamlessly, as well as command center and monitoring capabilities where we can see the failure points across all those capabilities. So as the complexity is getting higher and higher, the technology integration complexity is getting higher and higher as well. So that produces a lot of challenges, complexity to monitor and make sure that our operational excellence, it's easy to build, but to provide that operational excellence once you go live, that is another challenge that we have that we are trying to tackle as well.
Makes sense. Well, Shahriar, thank you so much. This has been really insightful, and I know my members will enjoy it. Hopefully, I can catch up with you in a couple months and maybe do a part 2, check in on you and see how everything's going.
Absolutely, we'll be happy to have another session with you.
Thanks, Shahriar. Take care.
Take care.